Hi guys, my name's Ed and I'm from Lang Media, and we're going to have a look at 5 essential remote business tools. Now, over the past 18 months, we've really seen how technology has helped us come together even when we're apart. Over the last 18 months, we have seen a lot of companies that were previously offline only now moving online, and potentially looking at keeping some working from home going forwards. Video call software is a very obvious tool. It's useful for your meetings, anything like that, but there is a whole lot of other options out there that will help to increase your output. First up is Slack. Now Slack is a great communication tool. You not only have the ability to do voice chats on it, but you have separate channels, separate teams set up for each channel. So say you got a project, you can have it so only the people involved on that project can see all the details of it, as well as being integrated with stuff like Google Drive, so for sharing, Google Calendars for organizing meetings. It's basically an endless list of integration you've got there. I know stuff like Dropbox is supported as well. But in these chat channels, you can actually create custom GIFs, emojis, share images, so it just keeps that kind of friendly team bond. So obviously you want to get good output, and if you've got a good team bonding, that can help. Having channels such as just a chat channel rather than a project focused one will help obviously keep that momentum, and if people find something fun or they want to just chat on their lunch break, they can do it in there. Whether you're using Slack or one of the other options out there, it's very important to have an instant messaging service that can be easily organized into these different teams. Next up is Monday.com. Primarily used to help organize your workflow within your teams. On the site, you create profiles for all your employees, set which projects they're going to be working on, which weeks, which times, so everyone has a clear idea of what they're doing just by logging onto the site and seeing what they've been assigned that week. You can set specific tasks to individual employees. Everyone else can look at them, or you can set them to private if you'd rather keep each person's work separate. You can quite easily set deadlines, and each task can have an indicator as to how high a priority it is, so you're making sure those important tasks are getting prioritized. Monday's also set up to allow file sharing and communication via individual work boards, so effectively like the project. In addition to that, it integrates seamlessly with email, so whenever something changes on Monday.com, you'll get a pinged email straight to your phone, straight to whatever device you're using, and you can get straight on there and see what's been changed. Next up is Clockify. Now this is a much more simple concept, and not all businesses are going to be able to make use of it, but for some it will be essential. Now businesses that employ part-time remote colleagues or freelancers who are going to be paid by the hour require a way to track it. Now Clockify lets you do this. You set up individual employees, they can then set when they start their work, when they stop. There's effectively a tracker, they can press the play button, it'll start counting, they can type in what they're working on in that time, and then stop it at the end. You can also set hours if you'd like, so you can have your employees set up like you would in a normal job where they've got a timetable. However, I see the most use of it when you're doing stuff like independent contractors and that sort of work. It also keeps all your employees' timesheets in one place, so you can quickly just look down and see how many hours everybody has done in a week. Last but not least with Clockify is it is completely free. There is no cost to it, which is a fantastic benefit. Next up is shared documents, Google Drive. Google Drive is basically the equivalent of if you have a group of people sitting all around one PC. But instead, they can all be on their own PCs, all look at the same document, and edit it and change it and make notes and annotate at the same time, live updating, so anyone that's working on it can see what is being changed. The Google Drive includes an effective Excel, Word and PowerPoint replacement in Google Docs, Google Sheets and Google Slides. And again, much like the Office programs, you have templates for different types of document and anything like that. Again, for your simple storage and easy navigation, you can set up folders within folders, so you've got those different layers that people are used to on a regular desktop. And having this organization means it's easy for your employees to quickly get to where they need to be. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I'd say the standout feature is probably the ability to have multiple people working and editing one document at a time. You don't realize how useful that is until you've got, say you've got a team of 5 and they need to get this project done. You can have like everybody set up to work on a different section. They can do it at the same time. You can have one person overviewing and seeing what's being changed, making potential suggestions, or if someone's finished a piece and they want everyone to look at it, they can quickly just scroll down and they can see it. Amazingly simple. Video call software is probably the most obvious program for any online business and remote business to use, but it's always vital to use an actual dedicated program. Not using something like Slack, which while it has features built in, they're not as in-depth, they're not as detailed, and you'd probably want to use it within your team, that would be fine. But if you're actually having external clients come in, keeping it on a separate platform such as Zoom or Google Meet would be a great way to do it. Google Meet's especially good because it links in with Google Calendar, and like I mentioned earlier, that links in with Slack, so if you're using Slack, it all comes through on this one program. Now, luckily for us, these platforms have been around for years and years. I know some of you will use Skype in the past. That is probably one of the ones I'd stick away from, to be honest. I've never had a hugely great experience on Skype, but stuff like Google Meet and also Zoom are very, in the last 18 months, they've had so much traffic and so much business. Like I mentioned, I've already covered 5 video call softwares, so have a little look. The video should be linked in the top right. There's a little exclamation mark. Just click on there and have a little look through. I'll also put a link in the description. But that brings us to an end of the top 5 essential remote business tools. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and liking the video so we'll get some more out. And like I said, we're doing weekly videos on top tips, tricks, top 5, stuff like this. If there's anything you want to see a top 5 on, let us know in the comments below. Till next time, guys, stay safe.